It all starts with the road. From this road comes another, and more, and more, and more. If you understand where this is going, perhaps you too have once been on a road trip. How this road trip ultimately starts is with a map. The idea, particularly for this road trip, was to see most of the sights all from the comfort of the car as one travels the road. In the bottom right corner, the highlighted, or more specifically termed buffer zone, represents a 100-meter viewing distance for both the left and right side of the road. Each photograph that you see is linked to a respective location, indicated as a small red dot representing the place where it was taken. These photographs, or the objects, were all photographed within that 100-meter distance. Enjoying the road trip, and all that it unexpectedly offered, made it so much more worthwhile, even more so afterwards because I could relate to past experiences along the way. It didn't matter if the sun was out or not, or if the roads were tar or gravel. I remember particularly in one case, where for several kilometers along this one road, there were a small few caterpillars here and there, making the trek to the opposite side of the road, where all the in-bloom flowers were. You would have to hope they didn't line up with your car's wheels, because silently in your mind you were cheering them on. Then there was the long straight road looking as if it went on for ages. The clouds above were hiding all sight of direct sunlight, except in one place. A runway of light filtered through onto the ground, perfectly across the straight road, and looked like a road intersection. Or, if you were just waking up from a nap in the car, you might assume it an alien tractor beam, readily waiting for some unsuspecting car to enter into its gaze. Thankfully, even though one can't expect all these occurrences by looking at a map, you are able to record where it all took place. It was also necessary to plan and measure the distance of the route. The entire road network of South Africa was available to pick and choose from, but on the road network database, such a nationally digitized or digitally stored road network wasn't necessary to use when one intended to travel in one province. The road network was narrowed down to the Western Cape province and helped make the decision for the best route easier and less tempting, especially for a seasoned young adult whose pocket of money is small and reckless decision-making abilities all too great. The road trip route measures in distance roughly 300 kilometers. Determining this route's distance is also a type of analysis, which in GIS terminology is called network analysis, more specifically, resource allocation. It really made a difference knowing that you can safely make it to all the destinations, as well as in the end, the most important one, back home. Ultimately, when considering the planning done beforehand, the sights seen and photographed along the way, and reflecting on the whole road trip afterwards, the following can only be said. Thanks to a map, I knew where to travel. Thanks to a map, I could discover more of the places where memories could be made. And thanks to a map, I could visually relate and identify all the experiences had during the time of something as enjoyable as traveling on the road.